Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Brooke Logan sabotages her own marriage. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, is having a tough time enjoying the spoils of war and flaunting Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., in her frenemy Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, face. If killing someone with kindness were a real thing, Taylor and Brooke would both be 6 feet under. But all that is about to change. Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful. Spoilers ahead. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Brooke Logan feels guilty. Taylor Hayes just returned to Los Angeles after over a year abroad. While Taylor was away, Ridge and Brooke's relationship was picture perfect. Now that Hope Logan, Annika Noel, won't stop kissing Steffi Forrester's, Jacqueline Masinswood, husband, the bridge marriage is a bit strained. According to B&B spoilers, it's only going to get worse now that Taylor's back in town. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Brooke is going to have an epiphany soon and decide that Taylor deserves to be Ridge. When Hope Logan put the moves on Steffi's husband Dr. Finn, Tanner Novlin, she opened up a lot of old wounds between Brooke and Taylor. Decades later, and Brooke is finally starting to see the error of her ways and is developing a guilty conscience. Of course, Brooke's decision to end her marriage and send Ridge back to Taylor's house is also affected by something else. On the latest episode of Bold and Beautiful, Taylor dropped a bomb and revealed that she is dying of heart failure. Obviously, Brooke is taken aback by her death bomb, but once the news sinks in, Brooke decides she wants to give her frenemy the greatest gift, her husband back. B&B spoilers. Brooke Logan's ultimate sacrifice. There's something almost sweet about Brooke sabotaging her own marriage so that Taylor can spend her last dying days with Ridge Forrester. Brooke might want to get a second opinion about Taylor's diagnosis before she signs her divorce papers, though. Do you think Brooke will help reunite Ridge and Taylor before she passes away, or will Taylor end up living? Brooke Logan, the radiant blonde who has survived more scandal and heartbreak than any other woman on The Bold and the Beautiful, is once again at the center of a tempestuous storm. This time, however, she's facing an adversary more dangerous than even her longtime rival, Taylor Hayes. The enemy lies within herself. The latest spoilers reveal that Brooke may be sabotaging her own marriage, deliberately or not, as her fear of losing Ridge Forrester consumes her, pushing her to make choices that could lead to ruin. Brooke and Ridge's love story has been legendary, fueled by passion, heartache, and countless breakups and reunions. Their relationship has always been as turbulent as the fashion industry they rule. Yet despite the endless cycles of betrayal, lies, and ex-lovers constantly hanging over them like a shadow, Brooke believed she had finally secured her happy ending. After all, she was Mrs. Ridge Forrester once again, and they had just renewed their vows. What could possibly go wrong this time? Everything, as it turns out. The seeds of doubt. Lately, Ridge has been preoccupied, his mind clearly on matters beyond the runway and boardroom of Forrester Creations. He's been spending more time with Taylor, who has recently returned to town with renewed energy and a confident glow that even Brooke can't ignore. Taylor's connection to Ridge, through their children and decades of shared history, is a thorn in Brooke's side. Every glance Ridge gives Taylor stirs insecurities Brooke thought she had long buried. Although Ridge reassures Brooke that she is the only woman for him, his lingering looks and meaningful conversations with Taylor have reopened old wounds. Brooke's jealousy, never far from the surface, begins to bubble up, eroding the trust she so desperately wants to maintain. But instead of confronting Ridge head-on about her feelings, Brooke's internal struggle starts to manifest in more destructive ways. A dangerous game. Brooke is no stranger to manipulating situations to get what she wants, but this time the stakes are higher. Her love for Ridge has become possessive, and her desperation to keep him by her side clouds her judgment. She decides to take matters into her own hands, convincing herself that the only way to secure Ridge's heart is to eliminate Taylor from his life, once and for all. Despite knowing how much Ridge values his family with Taylor, Brooke begins subtly planting seeds of doubt in Ridge's mind. She insinuates that Taylor may still have feelings for him, warning Ridge that Taylor's intentions might not be as innocent as they seem. In doing so, Brooke hopes to drive a wedge between them, but she underestimates the bond they share. The more Brooke pushes the narrative of Taylor as a threat, the more Ridge begins to wonder why Brooke is so fixated on it. He's always known Brooke to be a strong, confident woman, but this level of paranoia is new, and it's troubling. Ridge starts to question whether the problem lies with Taylor or with Brooke herself. The return of Deacon Sharp. As if Brooke's world wasn't complicated enough, Deacon Sharp re-enters the picture. Deacon, the father of her daughter Hope, has always held a certain power over Brooke. Their history is littered with forbidden attraction, betrayal, and regret. Yet, despite her attempts to put their past behind her, there's always been a magnetic pull between them. Deacon's presence unsettles Ridge, who has never been able to fully trust Brooke around him. Ridge knows that Deacon is trouble, and the idea of him lingering around Brooke only fuels his own insecurities. Brooke, however, tries to downplay Deacon's return, telling Ridge that she's moved on and that her focus is solely on their marriage. But the tension between Ridge and Brooke only escalates, and in a moment of vulnerability, Brooke finds herself turning to Deacon for comfort. It starts innocently enough. A conversation, a glass of wine, shared memories, but before she knows it, Brooke is caught up in old emotions. Though nothing happens between them physically, the emotional connection is undeniable, and it's a betrayal that Brooke knows she can never confess to Ridge. The breaking point. Ridge senses the shift in Brooke, and his suspicions grow. He confronts her about Deacon, and though Brooke denies any wrongdoing, the damage is already done. Ridge's trust in her begins to crumble, and for the first time, he starts to question whether Brooke is truly the woman he's meant to spend his life with. Meanwhile, Taylor remains a steady presence in Ridge's life, offering him the calm and stability that Brooke seems to be losing. The contrast between the two women is stark. Taylor's quiet confidence versus Brooke's increasingly erratic behavior, and Ridge finds himself drawn toward the peace that Taylor brings. Brooke, desperate to hold on to Ridge, makes one final, desperate move. She threatens to cut all ties with Ridge if he continues to spend time with Taylor, hoping that her ultimatum will force him to choose her once and for all. But her plan backfires spectacularly. Instead of bringing Ridge closer, her possessiveness pushes him further away. Ridge, tired of the endless drama and mistrust, walks out, leaving Brooke alone to face the consequences of her actions. A shattered future. As Ridge steps away from their home, Brooke realizes too late that she's become her own worst enemy. Her fears, insecurities, and attempts to control the situation have driven Ridge away. She had always believed that Taylor was the greatest threat to her marriage, but in the end, Brooke's inability to trust in Ridge and their love was what truly sabotaged their relationship. In the aftermath, Brooke is left to pick up the pieces of a shattered marriage once again. She watches helplessly as Ridge grows closer to Taylor, and the life she had fought so hard to keep crumbles around her. Brooke may have won countless battles in the war for Ridge's heart, but this time it seems the final blow was self-inflicted. Now, Brooke Logan stands at a crossroads, questioning not only her future with Ridge, but also who she has become. Will she fight to regain the trust she's lost, or is this the end of Brooke and Ridge's epic love story? One thing is certain, in the world of the bold and the beautiful, no marriage is ever truly safe, especially when Brooke Logan is involved.